Yo, Nathan. You ready to review Madam Web?
Madam Web? I was
Yep.
joking about that.
What do you mean you were joking?
I put 3 laughing emojis next to the message. You didn't see that?
I didn't get...
Come on, Neves.
Are you telling me I watched Madam Web not just once, but twice because Dakota Johnson told me to for nothing?
Why'd you watch it twice? It's not Tenant.
God damn it.
Anyway, Neves.
Fuck.
Well, you know what? We can talk about Madam Web because that movie has a garbage poster. And
Sure.
we're going to talk about movie posters today.
Sure.
Roll it.
Let's do that.
Welcome back to the Real Talk Podcast, episode 125. I'm your host, Nathan, and I'm joined by the man himself, Matthew Neves to my left.
Thank you.
Today, we are going to be discussing the best and the most iconic movie posters of all time.
Hell yeah.
Before we get into that, we got the Patreon going on. We got the YouTube memberships. We're about to have 2 episodes of Movie of the Month up there. We did... what was the first one we did?
We did Network
We
and
did.
To Live and Die in LA.
Network and To Live and Die in LA. So if you want to support your boys, Patreon, YouTube memberships, that's the place to do it. Those episodes are real fun.
Hell yeah.
Let's get into it. Best and most iconic movie posters.
So we were discussing this before because we realized that a lot of movies, as of recent, have been very lazy with their movie poster designs. Everything kind of looks the same. It's always the floating heads. It's always big text, give us money, yada, yada. And there was a point in time where movie posters had a lot more artistic value to it, I would say.
I agree. It's weird the progression in movie posters have fads and eras that are followed, right? Like when you go back to back in the day with earlier movies, it was usually showing the stars. It was usually a painted film.
Yeah.
And I guess the modern version of that was the talking heads. But in between, artists got creative.
Yeah.
And some of my favorite posters don't show a single actor.
Yeah.
Most
what I
of my
really
favorite
love.
posters don't show the actor. And that's what I want to get into today. I want to just start with what defines a good movie poster to you, Nev?
I would say, in terms of it's the same as what is an iconic shot? How does an audience member identify an iconic shot? So, for example, you look at that famous shot from The Exorcist, where the house is there and the priest is in the far background and stuff. That's such an iconic moment that was also in the film, but it was used in the poster for a reason. It showed the mystery. It evoked what the film was trying to say without spoiling anything. And I think that's what makes a perfect poster, is the simplistic factor as well as the iconic framing of it.
Yeah, I agree. There's not one particular thing that makes a poster iconic. I just think some posters are very simple and effective. Some posters kind of have nothing to do with the film or a metaphor for the themes of the film,
Right.
and end up being really effective. Some have a lot going on in them. Like when I think of immediately Everything Everywhere All at Once poster. There's a lot going on in that. But I contrast that to the Jurassic Park poster, which is the basic logo of Jurassic Park over a black over a black background. But it's just as effective and memorable as well. So I like that about movie posters, how they could be so different but still be so effective.
Absolutely. The Jurassic Park, for example, is a great example of using the logo.
Yeah.
So Jurassic Park, Batman,
Ghostbusters.
exactly,
Yeah.
where they use this iconic logo and people are like, what is this trying to say? And then that's when you watch the movie and you're like, oh, that's where it's coming from.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to start. So Collider made this list of their 25 greatest movie posters of all time ranked.
hell yeah.
Let's kind of react to this list and then go into our own favorites. And we got a couple of lists to go through as well.
For sure.
Number 25, Jaws.
Iconic.
Obviously, this poster is one of the greatest posters ever made.
Probably one of the most parodied posters I've seen as
100%.
well. Because of how simple the framing is, how big the text is. It's amazing. Everyone knows it. Even if you haven't seen the film, you know what Jaws is.
Yeah, you know what the poster looks like. I completely agree. I think 25. I think this got to be
Pretty
lower
low.
on the it should be higher on this list, right?
Yeah, I
pretty
would
low
say
for
so.
Jaws. 24 is Apocalypse Now.
Oh, yeah, man.
It's beautiful.
It's so good. You see Marlon Brando, Silhouette, and Martin Sheen as well.
It's beautiful, and you're just like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
It makes you want to, like, you see some helicopters. You're like, Marlon Brando looks crazy in this.
It looks like they're in hell, which is a perfect way to describe the movie as well during the end.
Completely right. Badlands, 1973. I actually
Oh,
have
yeah.
not seen this film.
Terrence Malick, man.
I
yeah.
do like these posters. I do like this poster, this kind of silhouette of the characters in the car. It's beautiful.
The 70s had a lot of those types of posters where it was very simplistic and might not be the most realistic drawing you would see, but it is very iconic.
70s era for posters is a very special time.
Absolutely. Oh,
22 Scarface.
of course, man.
Everybody got a poster of this on their wall. I mean, this, like, it's simple, but the color scheme is so iconic. It's been
Yeah.
parodied so many times, and it just works, right? It just
Yeah.
works.
Even in school, I don't know if it, like elementary or middle school, we would draw
Yes.
the Scarface, and people like knew how to do it. It took like 2 seconds
Yes.
because of how it looked.
What an iconic poster. I love that one. I think De Palma has great posters in his.
Absolutely.
De Palma is one of the best at, I think, picking
Yeah.
posters. King Kong 1933, like, wow.
The original King Kong, I would say a lot of people don't remember as much because the Peter Jackson one and the Godzilla fighting shit. But we got to remember the first King Kong revolutionized so many things, including the poster. I mean, look how.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful poster.
La Dolce
Dolce Vita,
Vita.
1960.
Oh yeah, man! I've seen this poster around, dude.
This is beautiful
A lot
painting.
of film nerds have been talking about it, and for good reason. I mean, it's just beautifully done. People, like we said before, the floating heads thing has been done to death so many times, but we forget that there was a reason why it was like that.
Yeah.
The framing, oh my gosh, man! Like,
I'm a sucker for the painted ones. Like,
Yeah.
I love it so much.
really good stuff.
Pulp Fiction,
Okay.
so iconic.
Yeah.
So iconic, has nothing to do with the movie, really.
Nope.
Which is interesting why it became so iconic, right? Because it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, she's kind of a side character.
Oh, no, that was the joke where people were watching the film for the first time. It's like, why the fuck is Uma Thurman in it for like 10 minutes?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's more Bruce Willis's story, if anything. If you see the whole story come together, it's more centered
course.
for him. But the reason why is because Pulp Fiction, it gives off that comic book, what was it, like Tales from the Crypt aesthetic.
Yes, it
with
has a
with
comic
font.
aesthetic.
Yeah.
It just works. I can't explain. This is one that I can't explain why it works so well, but it just does. It became probably the most iconic poster
Hell yeah.
of the 90s, at least. Breakfast at Tiffany's is a great one as well.
Yeah. Audrey Hepburn, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, love it. 2001: A Space
Ooh,
Odyssey
yeah,
at
man.
17. I don't know if I like that at 17. I think this is one of the greatest posters ever made. This
I
is
mean,
truly a work of art.
It really is. Because, like, the way it's illustrated is just like the movie. And
Yeah.
it's like you look at this spectacle, and that's what the movie is evoking.
There's also like an alternate poster to 2001 that's
Yeah.
just as good. Like,
Are you talking about the eye one?
yes.
Oh, I love that. I saw that on the VHS cover. I remember it was like Blockbuster Rogers, and it had that. I was like, oh.
Amazing. Kubrick, another director who picked movie posters extremely well.
Yeah. I'm surprised this is the first Kubrick film we've seen on the list.
Right?
Yeah.
I think we will see more. Rocky is iconic.
Oh, yeah, man.
It's on the Philly steps, like the courthouse steps. It's iconic. It's
beautiful.
Get better than that.
So good.
And it's simple. It's just the image,
That's
right?
the
It's just the
thing, too.
image in black and white, a very simple font, Rocky.
Yeah, because, well, I like this one, and I also like the one with him and Adrian
Yes.
showing their backs. I prefer that one over this one, to be honest,
probably
because of
do as
how
well.
that poster kind of illustrates what the true movie is about. This is more of the boxing victory part.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's run through some of these.
Oh,
The Thing at
yeah,
number
come on.
15.
Yeah, man.
It's so iconic. The light coming out of the face, you want to know immediately
Yeah.
what this is about. Like, this is a poster that really captures like your imagination and is like,
Yeah.
what is you want to see the movie so bad to find out what you're looking at.
Yeah, the font too. It's like the is like this big, and then the thing. It's like, what the fuck is this?
John Carpenter, another director
man.
with great movie posters.
Oh, absolutely. Damn.
Sullivan's Travels. I don't know about
I have
this
not
film,
heard
actually.
of this one, but I like
Beautiful.
the fact that it's like it's got that unique art style that a lot of movie posters, especially nowadays, they don't even bother.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I don't know. This looks really good.
13 Halloween, another John Carpenter.
Yep.
This is one of my favorite posters of all time.
I don't blame you, man.
I can't get this picture out of my head. It's simple. It's a pumpkin, it's a knife
Yeah.
over a black background, but it's the iconic font. and it's just so memorable.
And like you said, no Mike Myers or Michael Myers, not Mike
Exactly.
Myers. Fucking
Exactly. It doesn't give away. It doesn't show Jamie Lee Curtis. It
No.
doesn't show anybody.
no.
Just shows the pumpkin and the knife.
Comparing it to the recent Halloween posters where you gotta put him in, you gotta put Jamie Lee Curtis in, we gotta put them in every fucking poster imaginable.
Comparing to the most recent one where Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers are back to back like the Lethal Weapon cover.
Yes, Lethal Weapon 2, baby. I know which one. God damn,
It's garbage.
literally. We gotta go back to these simpler days, man.
Anatomy of a Murder. I love this one too.
Oh yeah. We got to talk about some of these artists. This is Saul Bass.
Yeah.
Saul Bass, around this time, 1950s, he was known for these very unique posters. I think he also worked on Vertigo.
Yes,
Like-
which I love that one. I understand that Saul Bass kind of changed the game, and what is a big factor of why movie posters started to go away from showing the stars.
Yeah. And I love that too, because again, Anatomy of Fall. It stars Jimmy Stewart, one of the biggest actors in Hollywood at the time. You don't see his face in this poster.
Amazing.
Beautiful stuff.
The Fly.
Fly's
I
good.
like this one too.
Fly's good.
This seems like a little too high on this list for me.
I agree.
But that's a good one. Mean Streets. I love
Oh,
this one
yeah,
too.
man.
This one's iconic as well. I love the art style here.
It could be one of Scorsese's best movie posters, I would say.
I'd have to agree.
Because, like, I'm trying to think of others, but this is so, like, this is his first movie breakout. And for a good reason. I mean, look at this fucking poster.
Beautiful poster, Mean
Yeah.
Streets. Love that. West Side Story, iconic in
Classic.
its own right. A little too
Yeah.
high on this list for me.
Fair enough.
But I'm sure some people love it.
yeah.
This one
Oh,
deserves to
yeah.
be here. We're at number 8 here with Silence of the Lambs. I think this is 100%
Yeah.
deserved. What an iconic poster.
Beautiful.
It's amazing.
We've seen this so many times, even before the film. And,
Gone with the Wind.
one of my favorites.
One that's often been duplicated. Or
posters like Empire Strikes Back, Dr. Zhivago, even Attack of the Clones did the exact same recreation, similar with Padme and stuff. It's like the reason is because of how influential it was
Yeah.
from other directors.
that deserves to be number 7. I like that. The Shining, number 6.
Yeah.
Love this one too.
I wish more people showed this poster versus the iconic Here's Jack scene.
Yeah.
I swear to God that poster, well, I understand why, it was because of how famous the scene was after the film.
Yeah.
But before, we didn't know how iconic it was going to get. Hence why you get a poster like this and you don't know what the fuck
And
this
you're like,
movie's about.
what is that face?
Yeah.
Like, you want to know more. I love it. And I feel like for a horror movie poster, using yellow as the main theme is kind of
Yeah.
like unorthodox, right? You usually go with these darker kind of
Darker
colors.
shades.
So to use yellow as the main theme of the poster is not traditionally what you would go with, but it works really
Also
well
by
here.
Saul Bass.
Also by Saul
God
Bass.
damn, man. This guy's got it.
Legend. Blade Runner
Oh.
number 5. Oh my, what a work of art.
I gotta say something too, because I love Blade Runner 2049, but you cannot fucking tell me those posters are anywhere close to being like this quality.
Not
The original?
Not even close.
Oh man, because the new ones do the typical like orange, blue, purple, and it's like we've seen that so many times. Why couldn't it be like this?
I love this one.
Yeah, man.
That painting of her, like, it just looks so badass.
He looks like he's like the sweat. You can see it, the light, the shining.
It's truly a beautiful painting.
She's smoking.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
amazing.
Perfect.
What are we at here? Number 4, Clockwork Orange, another Kubrick.
Yeah.
I like this one a lot. A little more simple, but the font's iconic. I think this triangle kind of picture has become iconic.
Oh, yeah.
I understand why it's here on this list this high up. Number 3, Empire Strikes Back.
Which is surprising because, like, I would assume. Nah, I guess they're both amazing. I
It's
just thought
beautiful.
Look at it, like
It's the colors, the characters that are shown. Like, imagine you just watch New Hope.
Yeah.
You're waiting for this movie to come out, and the first thing, and you see this poster, and you're like, oh my God, it's going to be the greatest sequel ever.
Exactly. Unfortunately, I did not have that advantage when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you saw the DVD covers for these fucking movies.
they're terrible.
The floating heads. Like, what was Empires? Empires was like Darth Vader awkwardly, and then like, what?
I agree. They definitely dropped the ball and should have just used this original beautiful artwork.
Just keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 2, they got The Exorcist.
Of course.
For good reason.
Yeah,
you see
man.
this man, the iconic font, the darkness of it, and you're like, what is this? I need to know.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Oh my God. What is
And
number 1?
Number 1 is Vertigo.
Oh,
Saul
yeah.
Bass again.
I figured.
all over this list. I love this Vertigo. It's like It's genius.
I do have a hot take though for Vertigo. Love the poster, love the look of the movie, everything like that. I don't like the story.
Fair enough.
The story is not my cup of tea, but everything around it, I completely understand.
Fair enough. So what are your thoughts on this list, Nev? Did they get? I think they got a lot right.
You know what? I'm glad that they put some older, like I'm talking older films like 40s, 50s, 60s, because a lot of recent websites are doing let's do like the 90s, 80s, which is good. That era had a lot of fucking amazing
Great.
posters, but so did the golden age of Hollywood. And they put a couple of good ones there.
I agree. Okay, why don't we get into? So we just talked about lots of good posters.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some shitty ones.
So as of recent, there's these cliches from movies, but there's also been cliches within posters because movie producers don't give a shit and give like the artists like 2 seconds to make a poster, and they're like, yeah, we need you to make it like right now. Here's your budget. They give them like 2 quarters, and they're like, all right, I guess we'll put this up. And some examples of as of recent, I have to say, the first one on my top 5 worst movie posters. X-Men First Class, The Floating Head, James McAvoy. For some fucking reason,
Why?
they had this beautiful silhouette of Professor X.
Yeah.
You could have just left it at that.
Seriously, if you take out the head and just have the silhouette of Professor X, maybe even make the X-Men font bigger,
A little bit bigger, yeah.
it would look really clean.
Exactly. But the fucking people were like, well, what if people don't know who Professor X is? So they had to put James McAvoy's fucking head like awkwardly
his crotch.
On his crotch. Literally on his crotch. If you look at his like right eye, it's right where his crotch is. What is wrong with you?
Makes no sense.
Hollywood, what the fuck?
It makes no sense to put it there. If you were gonna put it, maybe even put it on the top left, like in where the space is open.
Closer to the face? Yeah.
If you're set on the talking head, but putting it at his crotch, that's a terrible poster.
I thought this was a fake parody poster they did on Reddit. Nope, this is official. They also did one for Magneto. I didn't even bother showing that one because this is a fucking tragedy if I ever saw one. Another issue that a lot of movie posters have is not knowing when it's too much.
When enough is enough.
When enough is enough.
We don't need to know every side character that's in the movie.
Yes. And for some fucking reason, a great example is Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah.
Look at this fucking thing, dude. We got 2 Iron Men. We got Spider-Man. We got Parker. We got Zendaya in the fucking. We got Ned somewhere. Like what?
It's so unnecessary.
Why do we need so many people? And I think that's an issue with a lot of the MCU posters, especially the Avengers ones. Is,
Endgame one was.
Dude.
But that one is kind of good. That one
it's better than this.
The Endgame one is kind of warranted.
Yeah.
Because of what the film is.
Absolutely.
It's Endgame. All these characters play a role. It's it's supposed to be like the ultimate. Everybody comes together. The ultimate finish to the story. So I understand why you want to include all the characters in the poster. Because there's a lot of iconic ones in there.
Yeah.
And they built up for years to this moment.
And I wish more MCU posters knew when to. Because a lot of them are just kind of the same. I love the Iron Man poster, but man, that framing looks exactly the same as every other action film where Iron Man's the biggest one, and then you get the side characters like all rounded up. And I feel like they just don't give enough time for these people.
And it's like from Marvel to, like Disney, like Star Wars.
Yeah.
It all became the same. Copy and paste, like cut out these heads. I feel like I could make one of these posters in a second.
Absolutely. And that's the sad reality is if you're not familiar with Marvel or Star Wars and somebody show them a poster, it's like, which movie do you think this is from? They're like, I don't fucking know. They take out the title and it's just the design itself.
I'd struggle.
Yeah, same. And we've watched the fucking movies. Like,
I'd struggle big time.
So this poster came out around 2017, so about 6 years ago. Still very recent and very disgusting, but a very recent one that I looked up.
You didn't like the Wonka?
Look at this fucking. What the fuck is this? I showed this in a group chat, and we were all speculating like Timothy Chalamet in this poster. The original, he was standing up. He had to have. Because look at his fucking legs. His legs are positioned. Let me, if I can zoom this in a bit. But like, look at this. Why are his legs positioned that way?
Yeah, it's a bad poster.
And just like, it's similar to Spider-Man Homecoming where there's just too much shit going on. It looks like a parody of itself. And I just, why? Put a little bit more effort. Look at the original Willy Wonka poster with Gene Wilder. It's an illustration. He's there, and so are the kids. And it might not be the greatest, but it showed what the film was trying to do without it showing so much in your fucking face.
I agree.
A little older poster that I found was Victory. This starred Michael Caine and Sylvester Stallone. It was illustrated, but I feel like this is an issue with framing because I don't know what the fuck is happening
It's
here.
very unnatural. Like,
Yes.
weird.
I think the purpose was to make all their fists pump up and shape a V for the movie's name for Victory, but it just looks so fucking awkward that like I don't know what's happening. They all look like
some weird like conjoined twins or
yeah,
something.
like this is some fucking monster that they created with like 3 heads and 3 arms. But
I don't like it.
Now is the time for heroes. Like even the tagline is like really bad,
Very bad.
and hence why nobody here remembers Victory. And last but not least,
Jesus
I want to
Christ.
talk about Adam Sandler for a second because there was his debut film. It's called Going Overboard, and oh my god, this poster
so bad.
is one of the worst posters I've ever fucking seen. I have tried looking for alternative versions, and guess what? They're even worse.
Really?
There's a DVD release version where it's just his face, like it, like really zoomed in, and he's like, "Oh, where am I?" And the boat is like destroyed, and
Yikes.
I don't know who did this, but they should take their name off of it.
That's terrible.
So I feel like all 5 of these posters kind of reflect the issue Hollywood or just movies. Studios in
Solid list,
general.
with kind of the modern posters. I got a list of modern posters I do like because not all modern
Hell yeah.
posters are bad. There
Of
still
course
is
not.
creativity out there. I love the Parasite poster.
Yes,
That's an iconic one recently.
Really
Like,
good.
You see this, it looks almost at first glance, it looks like this regular family, but then you see that the eyes are crossed out, and it makes you want to know more about the film.
yeah,
Love that one. I touched on it earlier. Everything Everywhere All at Once poster.
another great one.
Banger poster. Has a lot going on, but works well.
Yeah,
The Batman recently.
yeah,
All their posters. They had many variations. The way they use the red, the way they use the shadows, and the way they use that new logo. Love it.
that's the thing too. A lot of the Batman movies, I'm trying to think of the Nolan ones. Aside from Batman Begins with the floating head and the bats, I think Dark Knight had the Joker, Batman. Those are creative posters too. Dark Knight and the Batman, I would say, were like in terms of superhero films, what you should do. Make yourself stand out from the rest.
I completely agree. Inception poster. I love that one.
Yeah,
Where they're
man.
standing in the street and the
the buildings are moving.
are vertically this way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. And basically every Nolan poster. If we're talking modern directors, Nolan hits almost every time.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer poster, incredible. The Interstellar one kind of feels like a nod to 2001. It's a banger.
Yeah.
Like, Nolan does not miss with posters.
And that's the thing too, is that he could have easily, because again, a lot of directors don't think about it, but a poster makes a fucking difference. I can say that all of Nolan's posters I remember just distinctly.
Yeah, I can think of all of them in my head. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
God damn. No, that's a good one. What was that all 5?
Yeah, that was my list.
Beautiful. I'll put my top 5 down, if anything. So we already discussed Blade Runner. That's a banger. There is this.
Hold on. This is your top 5 posters, top 5 of all time. Okay, let's get into it. Let's do. You do 5, I do 5. You do 4, I do 4.
Oh yes.
Let's do it like that. So
I'm
your
so
number
sorry.
5 is
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. Blade Runner was my number 6 actually. I
Oh,
love
hell
that one.
yeah.
My number 5 is the Empire Strikes Back poster.
Classic.
I love that one so much.
That's a classic one. And then number 4 is a movie not a whole lot of people remember, but I saw it just for the poster. Your Friends and Neighbors. It stars Aaron Eckhart, Ben Stiller. All-star cast, I would say.
When did that come out? What year?
1999, 98, I would say.
Beautiful poster.
Beautiful indeed. Like, and this is the issue too with a lot of these awesome posters is that when they get a DVD release, they manage to fuck it up. I
hate that.
Because the DVD release of this is like the floating heads thing. And I'm like, dude, I bought this DVD because I want to see this poster, man.
And I hate how Netflix be changing every damn post.
Yes.
We could do a whole episode on that.
Oh,
Like,
we could rant on streaming services fucking up the posters, man. It's a disgrace.
my number 4 is 2001: Space Odyssey.
Oh, that's
love
classic.
that one so much.
Hell yeah, man. My number 3 is my favorite film of all time, The Iron Giant.
Love that poster.
If you want to know what the iconic 1950s aesthetic is, look at this. It came from outer space. The Iron Giant. Everyone's scared, looking, the explosion. This is the most 1950s poster I've ever fucking seen from a movie that didn't come out in the 50s.
Yeah, I love the face, the just the way it looks is so beautiful. It gives me even like Metropolis vibes.
Yes.
Love that. That's a
Oh.
great poster too.
Metropolis
like, one
is
of the best.
one of the older entries, but still, like,
The font, the face,
it.
it's iconic.
everyone. Yeah.
My number 3 is Jaws. Has to be,
Of course.
so iconic. My list is pretty basic, but for good reason. These posters are iconic.
Can't go wrong with that. And mine is also one we discussed, Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
I just, because like this came out in 1939, man, and look how epic it looks. It looked like some painter worked on it for weeks, man.
Yeah. Not only do you get the iconic, like the romance, but you get little pictures of the scenes below it.
Yeah.
And they just all bleed into each other. It's beautiful.
Very influential.
My number 2 is Halloween.
Yeah, man.
Can't get that poster out of my head. I love it. It's so nice.
I don't blame you, man. And one that we didn't discuss, but I gotta say something because I just love it. The Rocketeer.
That's a great one.
The Rocketeer. If you haven't seen this movie, please watch it. I think it's on Disney Plus. It's a Disney movie.
I feel like I've also seen an alternative that I do like too.
There have been, I feel like this poster, whether it was influenced by previous posters or influenced others in the future, regardless, this is my favorite because of how it looks, how the Rocketeer looks. It looks very, like you said, Metropolis. It's very Golden Age, Silver Age. I don't know. It to me, this is the perfect superhero poster.
It's modern in a way, but pays homage to that golden age. I completely agree.
Yeah. And your number one?
My number 1 is The Exorcist. I think it's objectively, I truly think it's the best movie poster that's ever been made.
Hell yeah, man.
It's so good. Especially for horror, like so simple, so effective. The shot is so beautiful.
Yeah. When people think of the term horror, that image comes to mind more so than anything else.
Yeah.
Which is just goes to show how influential it was. But yeah, dude, I love movie posters. I think what Hollywood needs to do is put more thought into it because I've been looking up fan posters that look a million times better
I agree.
than the fucking movies they're releasing nowadays.
I think nowadays there's less of an emphasis on posters because I don't know if people are. It's not really drawing people to the theater, and then when they go on streaming services, as soon as you click on a movie, it runs a trailer immediately. So people are not really picking movies based on the poster as much as they used to. I feel like that was a big factor. Like,
Yeah.
you see a cool poster and you go see a movie.
Absolutely. And some studios, the worst is the studios that copy posters. Like I remember seeing the Geostorm movie poster. I'm like, wait, that's just Inception.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers copied Inception, and that's another thing studios shouldn't do. Do not copy other aesthetics. Stand out from the rest, like the Batman, like the Dark Knight trilogy. It makes a difference because then we're gonna remember it. Even if we don't know the title, we'll know that fucking image, and that makes a big difference for people.
Yeah, there are still good examples of it out there. It's not like the movie posters are dead or like it's kind of a dying art. I think you're right. People need to. I think studios should spend more time on it.
Absolutely.
Should test more posters. Spend more time on it. Don't give somebody 10 minutes to make a poster.
If you can spend $300 million fucking dollars on your movie, there's got to be some money for the artist, dude.
right?
So I don't know.
Let us know your most iconic or your favorite movie posters of all time. I'd love to know in the comments because I feel like this is a topic where everybody would kind of have some different answers.
Yeah.
So let us know in the comments. We'll be reading those. I'm interested to know. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe to you boys, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Brush your hair.
Peace.